Welcome back into the Sports Source, this segment of our show, brought to you by Safety Systems. George Carlin always made me laugh when he talked about his stuff. You got to take care of your stuff. It's so important. And the best way to protect your stuff is with the best, most advanced, most high-tech security systems on the planet. And you can get those by calling Safety Systems. VFL JJ Surlis, man to get in touch with out there. They do a fantastic job at fantastic prices. Safety Systems. All right. We do this every week. There's always something that comes up, though there's less of it this week. Quick update on the lawsuit, and we got a little bullet point here. First of all, the judge in the case denied UT's motion to move the case to Knoxville. She pointed out that UT in the past has used its statewide status to benefit it in other cases, so it really couldn't turn around and claim the opposite in this case, which makes sense. That said, Tennessee came out and said that the truth will come out whatever the venue. So that's the second bullet point that we're waiting. There it is. Tennessee said the truth will come out regardless of venue. Next, the judge also ruled, interestingly, that the Peyton Manning portion of the suit will remain, which suggests to me that the plaintiffs are going to get some leeway here. Suggests that UT's other requests to remove parts of the suit might be shot down as well, because that one seemed like the most distant and far-fetched. I'm a little surprised that one stayed in there. And then last, a list of Butch Jones phone calls made in the aftermath of the Johnson Williams sexual assault arrest went public and became a talking point for the week. And I was a little surprised by how much scrutiny that got. I had a friend of mine who's in the KPD ask me this week, what is the deal? Why is everybody freaking out over these phone calls? This always happens. And I don't think people realize that all of these major programs have a liaison on that police force that they go to. If there's a major incident, you better believe Nick Saban or Urban Meyer or whoever is talking to the chief of police. Were you a little surprised by the reaction to the phone records?
Absolutely, I was. But maybe it's because I've known, like a lot of people should or do know, that it does go on. There are conversations like this between the police chief and the coach. And it could be the basketball coach, but a high-profile situation, those conversations occur. And the thing I looked at, you can look at it from different angles, but I looked at it that Butch Jones is trying to do his due diligence before he makes a decision on what he's going to do with the football players. I've got no problem with that. But also, I guess one thing I did have a little problem with is that people were, I think, jumping to conclusions. You don't know the content of the conversation.
Right.
If you don't know what was said, you can't jump to the conclusion, aha. There's not really an aha moment in it. Yeah, he talked to Dre Bowles twice. We still don't know what he said. Right. It's a he said.
Well, and the other thing, there were people that were trying, well, he spoke to Johnson and he spoke to they're getting their story straight. Well, here's the thing. Technically, yeah, they could have been. But it also could have been, just as you say, doing the due diligence. Again, this idea that Nick Saban gets this call, and there's two players at Alabama, and he says, okay, I'll talk to you later, and he hangs up. Honey, I'm just going to go back to bed. He's not going to call everyone involved, trace down everything he can. The police officer I spoke to mentioned to me that this would happen with any big business in a community. It's not, you're not giving any information to these people that they're not supposed to have. It's just a courtesy that you're an important business to this area, and Tennessee football is, so you're going to talk to the top level guy and get the whole story. To me, the bigger story this week, I wasn't surprised by the motion denying the change of venue. It was filed in Nashville. I expected it to stay there. And I think legally, for a legal reason, she made a good case as to why it should. The one that surprised me, though, was keeping Peyton Manning in there, because that could almost be a canary in the coal mine kind of thing. Does this mean the judge is going to give the plaintiffs a little more leeway than Tennessee wanted? Well, I think the obvious answer is yes. So to me, that's a bigger story than the change of venue or the Butch Jones phone calls. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a reminder that this is going to take a long time, too, because it's going to allow them to establish a pattern if they're going to try to do that. This case, if it's going to go on and Tennessee's going to fight it, it will take a long time. It will take years.
To me, the biggest thing was keeping it in Nashville. It wasn't surprising to understand why they did it, and I thought they would did it, but if it goes to trial, just from a terms of jury selection, jury pool.
Yeah, well, there's a reason Tennessee wanted it in Knoxville. And there's a reason they filed it in Nashville.
Yeah, there's a reason they wanted it, and you can see both sides of that. Yeah. And with the Butch Jones, the phone calls, wouldn't you have been surprised if there hadn't been some phone calls before you make a decision? It has a huge impact on not just the players on your team, but a lot of people.
Was there a phone call to Michael Williams? Because I didn't recall seeing one to Michael Williams.
I didn't see one either.
If anything, that is a little more odd than the
Just
calls
on
to the
that.
players. That's the one player you didn't call. You talked to everybody else around there. It's the one guy you didn't talk to.
Well, we don't know that. Maybe
Talk to him on a different
maybe
phone.
Michael Williams and A.J. Johnson are sitting there together.
And they're handing the phone.
Hey, put Michael
Yeah.
on the phone.
Good point. Fair enough. Could also have called him on a landline if someone still has that.
Or person to person.
Person to or could have met with him personally, yeah, or face to face, as you say. All right, or a person to person call. What was the Mayberry? What was the? It was like, it wasn't Thelma. It was
Sarah.
Sarah. Get me
Sarah.
so and so. Yeah. All right. Very good. Went a long way for nothing on that joke. All right. When we come back, Tennessee basketball team has an opening on the roster. They're looking to fill it a couple of different ways. What's the best way? Come on back on the Sports Source.